Are you sick of making new habits that you can't keep up? What if you could make habits that are so strong they last forever? We will learn about Miyamoto Musashi's time-tested methods in this video to help you form habits that will not only last but also change your life. Step 1. Start ridiculously small. If you want to form strong habits, you should begin by doing something incredibly small. Even though it might not make sense, the best way to make changes that last is to start small. Trying to do too much at once makes it hard to stay steady because you get too busy. Musashi believed that things should be kept simple and that you should master the basics before going on to bigger problems. In the same way that he started by learning the basics of swordsmanship, we should start by doing small things that are easy to handle and set us up for success. By starting small, you can gain speed. Setting yourself up to fail is when you try to make big changes right away. Let's say you want to read a book every day. Put off reading a whole chapter for now and just read one page instead. Making this small move is simple and will help you keep going. Small actions add up over time, building a strong base for bigger steps forward. Musashi talked a lot about taking things one step at a time and focused on getting better over time. He didn't become famous overnight. Instead, he got there by improving small things every day. You can be successful and resilient in the long run by getting good at small habits. Start with something ridiculously small, because over time, these little steps will add up to huge changes. Step 2. Focus on consistency, not perfection. The desire for perfection is one of the biggest mistakes people make when they are trying to form new habits. They usually expect perfect work from the start, but being perfect can slow down progress. Musashi knew that success isn't about being perfect, but about working hard all the time. He got better at swordsmanship by practicing and repeating things over and over again. In the same way, we need to focus on the daily work that leads to gradual success. People who are successful are consistent, while people who fail are not. Always be there, even if you don't feel like it. That's how you build strong habits. It's about making small changes over time instead of expecting perfect results right away. You may miss a day or make mistakes along the way, but the key to long-term success is being able to stick with it. It's important to be consistent with things like getting up early, working out, or working toward a goal. Musashi trained his sword skills every day, and you should do the same even if you can't see any progress right away. Over time, being consistent leads to discipline, and discipline leads to results. The slow, steady steps you take today will add up to long-lasting change in the future. Step 3. Make the cue obvious. To know the path, you must first become the path itself. Miyamoto Musashi. Musashi believed that being aware and getting ready were the most important things for success. He would carefully watch his surroundings and guess what his opponent would do next. In the same way, making the cue for the habit you want to form stand out is a key part of being successful at it. Something you see, hear, or feel is called a cue. It's what makes you do your habit. If you don't have a clear reminder, it's easy to forget or put off starting the habit. Musashi was very aware of what was going on around him. He didn't wait for chances to come up, he made them happen. Similarly, if you want to make a habit that lasts, you need to make it clear and regular when to start. It will be easier to act without having to use willpower or drive if the cue is clear. This fits with Musashi's idea that to master something, you have to get rid of all the uncertainty and extraneous complexity. For example, if you want to work out every morning, put your gym bag or workout clothes somewhere you can see them the night before. The moment you see your workout clothes, you know it's time to start your practice. If you want to make meditation a regular habit, put your meditation mat somewhere you will see it every morning. These clear signs make it hard for someone to miss what you want to say. They take away the need to make choices, which is a key part of making habits stick. Just like Musashi sharpened his sword and got ready for fight ahead of time, you need to set up your environment to support the habits you want to form. By making the cue clear, you reduce tension and make it more likely that the habit will be maintained. Your cues will help you act and finally master something more easily if they are clear and well thought out. Step 4. Reduce friction. Know the enemy and know yourself, and you can fight 100 battles without disaster. Miyamoto Musashi. Resistance that makes it harder to do your habits is called friction. It could be physical, like having to dig through a jumbled drawer to find your gym clothes, or mental, like being too scared to start something new. Musashi was wise enough to know that getting rid of distractions was key to focusing on the job at hand. He worked hard for years to get better at what he did, making things easier for himself and getting rid of anything that could get in the way of his path. Getting rid of pressure is also important for making habits that last. First, write down the things that are stopping you from doing your habit. You might hit snooze and fall back to sleep if your alarm is too far from your bed and you want to get up early and work out. An easy fix is to put the alarm across the room from you so you have to get up to reset it. This small change makes things easier and gets you on track to finishing your habit. Preparing ahead of time is another way to cut down on stress. Musashi planned everything out very carefully, and we can learn from this about how we behave. Making plans and cooking your meals ahead of time will help you eat better. Making the food ahead of time makes it less likely that you will choose fast foods. Also, if you want to relax every day, make sure your space is ready the night before. That way, you can start right away. You are more likely to act if you don't face much pushback. You can make it easier to stick to a habit by making your environment and daily routine simpler. This will take less mental energy to start. Musashi knew that the key to winning a battle was to get rid of any distractions that were not required. The same is true for building habits. Getting things done is easier when there is less resistance. Step 5. Make it attractive and satisfying. To know the path, you must first become the path itself. Miyamoto Musashi. To make a habit last a lifetime, you need to do it over and over again and be disciplined, but you also need to enjoy the process. A habit is not likely to stick if it feels like a load or a chore. I think Musashi knew that real power comes from within and is driven by a desire to get better. In the same way that he found happiness in improving his swordsmanship, you need to find ways to enjoy your habits so that they really connect with you. Getting into a habit can be easy if you do it with something you already like. For instance, if your goal is to start working out daily, you could listen to your favorite podcast or music while you work out. This makes the experience more enjoyable and connects the habit with a good feeling. It's more likely that you will keep doing something if you connect it to something good. In his practice, Musashi also found ways to enjoy the training process. He knew that to be good at any art, you have to enjoy the work itself. In the same way, making a habit satisfying means giving yourself a reward or a sense of success right away. Take a moment to appreciate yourself after you finish a job. This could be as easy as crossing something off your habit tracker, taking a break, or giving yourself a small treat. To keep going, Musashi always looked for ways to celebrate success, knowing that the satisfaction of small steps forward is what keeps you going. When habits are enjoyable and useful, they become a big part of who you are and how you live your life. They become an easy and normal part of your life over time as you start to look forward to them. Getting pleasure from your habits makes you more determined to keep them up for a long time. Step 6. Track your progress. Victory is the main goal, but the process is equally important. Miyamoto Musashi. Tracking your progress is one of the best ways to make a habit stick and make sure it lasts a lifetime. It's easy to lose sight of the small progress you're making if you don't keep track of it. In his never-ending quest for mastery, Musashi kept track of his progress by improving his skills and learning from his fights. In the same way, it's important to see where you are and how far you've come when you're trying to make habits last. It's not enough to just collect data when you track, it can also help you stay motivated. Small steps forward, no matter how small, are what keep the fire of determination going. Musashi's path to power wasn't full of big wins all at once. Instead, he had a lot of small wins along the way. You can see your growth in real life by keeping track of your habits. This helps you stay committed and on track. There are lots of ways to keep track of growth. If you want to get fit, write down your workouts. If you want to read more, write down the names of the books you've finished. For personal growth, think about what you've done well and what you need to work on every week. You can easily keep track of habits like writing, meditating, or eating well with apps and digital tools. This makes it easy to see the patterns that lead to success. Musashi became famous by thinking about things and making them better all the time. He didn't just practice swordsmanship without thinking about it. He thought about what he did, how it turned out, and made changes based on that. In the same way, tracking lets you look at your habits again, see where you're doing well and where you could use some work. It's not about getting perfect fast. It's about creating a method that always produces good results that last. You can be sure that every small step you take brings you closer to your end goal if you keep track of your progress. Step 7. Tie habits to your identity. Adding your personality to your habits is the last thing you need to do to make them last a lifetime. When a habit becomes a part of your personality, you don't have to force yourself to do it. It just comes naturally. The way of the sword taught Musashi more than just how to use a sword. Discipline, planning, and mastery were important parts of who he was. Think about the person you want to become to connect your habits to who you are. It's not enough to just eat right and work out if you want to be healthy. You need to accept the identity of someone who cares about their health and make choices that fit that identity. Say something like, I am someone who prioritizes fitness, instead of, I want to work out. This changes the focus from a job to a person, which makes the habit a big part of your life. Musashi's success came from the fact that he was a fighter. Similarly, if you connect with the habits you want to form, they will become a normal part of your day. The person you are becoming, not just the person you want to be, should show up in your habits. When your personality matches what you do, you can't stop the habit. Ultimately, it takes patience, focus, and a deep understanding of the process to form strong habits that last a lifetime. You can change your life by doing these 7 things. Starting small, focused on consistency, making cues clear, lowering friction, making habits appealing, keeping track of your progress, and connecting your habits to who you are. Like Musashi, who became famous by being dedicated and following rules to the letter, you can form habits that will help you throughout your life. Remember that true success comes from always getting better, one habit at a time. Keep going and stay focused.